Hey, so I'm back with another video. This video will be about my labor and delivery story. Having my daughter, I had a VBAC, and I'm just going to tell you about it. So, with my son, he's 3. I had a cesarean. I went past my due date, 3 days past my due date, and last minute my doctor told me to try Primrose capsules. Like on my due date, he told me to try it. So they had scheduled me for a cesarean. Well, they had scheduled to induce me because I wasn't dilating. I think I had dilated 1 centimeter. So they started me on a Pitocin, and I was in labor for maybe like 15 hours. And I wasn't progressing. I got to like 6 centimeters, and then all of a sudden I had like this really high fever. I felt really hot and like, I don't know. So they gave me a cesarean. So when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I really wanted to try a VBAC. A VBAC is a vaginal birth after cesarean, VBAC. And since my first appointment, I was really pressed on the issue. I just kept on asking the doctor, like, what are my chances of having a VBAC? What are the risks of having a VBAC? And there is a 1% chance that your uterus could rupture, and that can kill the baby. So there is a risk, but it's a small risk, 1%. So, okay. I think maybe a month before I was due, I found out my daughter was, she was breached. And so I was really worried about that. I had to stay in the hospital for a few hours because she wouldn't move when they wanted her to. They couldn't find certain things they was looking for on the ultrasound. So that made me high risk. I had to see a high risk doctor to make sure everything was okay for continuing my pregnancy. And so in order to make sure I had a VBAC, I took some measures, not really too many. I didn't really exercise. I was working a full-time job at the time, so the most walking I did was back and forth to the building. I didn't really do anything extra. When I hit 37 weeks though, that's when you're considered full term. I did get this 3rd trimester tea, which is, what is it called? Raspberry tea? Yeah, red raspberry leaf. And I got this from, I'm pretty sure you can get it from Walmart, but I got it from Toys R Us when they was going out of business. And then 37 weeks, I did what my doctor told me to do with my son. But I started beforehand to make sure my body will go into labor naturally. So I used these evening Primrose capsules. I went to the doctor when I was 37 weeks. Not the doctor. I went to Walmart when I was 37 weeks. But they didn't have it. So I had to go back like every day for like 4 days. And that's when they had it. So as soon as I got it, I think I waited like an extra day or so. And I started putting them, I insert them inside me twice a day. I would do it in the morning before I went to work, and then I'll do it at night before I go to bed. It's like 8 hours in between, so I would do it then. And then, yeah, so 37 weeks, I started doing that. 38 weeks, I started noticing contractions. I considered them Braxton Hicks because I don't think I was dilated or anything. So I really didn't pay them no mind. They were really like inconsistent and everything. So I just continued. 39 weeks. It was a Monday. And I went into work. It was a regular day. I worked at a call center. And 10 in the morning, I'm on the phone with this gentleman, and but my water breaks. I knew she was going to make a dramatic entrance because she's my daughter, and I knew she was going to be a drama queen, and she is. So my water breaks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant and I think my water break. I think my water broke. And he's like, oh my gosh, well, I can just call back. I was like, no, 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 no. I'll transfer you. I transferred him. I got my supervisor. She helped me like get to the bathroom and everything. And definitely my water broke. But the thing is, I wasn't ready because I was due the next week. I thought for sure I wasn't going to have my daughter until like her due date. So I didn't pack my bags and I worked 30 minutes away from my home. So I had to drive all the way from my job home. I called my mom. I had called my daughter's father and I'm like, my water broke. Meet me at the house, pack my bags. You know, it's a go time. So my mom met me at the house. My daughter's father was already there. He had already packed my bags and everything. Contractions start to hit. I think contractions start to hit maybe on my way home. And I used my timer and they were about 5 minutes apart. I called my doctor. They're like, you got to go to the doctor's office before you go to the hospital so we can make sure everything's okay. So go home, pack my stuff. I ride with my mom and my daughter's father follows me in my car. He follows us in my car. We make it to the doctor's office. It's a go. Contractions. Before we even made it to the doctor's office, when I tell you my contractions were bad. I'm not going to say it was like the worst pain in the world. Not yet. Not at that point. But every bump, I was like, Mom, you can't be driving Miss Daisy. Like, not even driving Miss Daisy, but you can't be driving crazy. Like, you got to be easy on these bumps because my contractions were hurting so bad. It's not even funny. With my son, my contractions, since I was induced, to me, my contractions felt like when you run really hard and your abs tighten up. That's what my contractions felt like when I was induced. But when I was, the natural contractions, they do it. They do it. Okay, so, what happened next? We make it to the doctor's office. They're like, all right, you got to go to the hospital now. I go to the hospital. Contractions getting worse. Contractions are like maybe 3 minutes apart at this time. So I make it to my room. I see the nurses, change my clothes and everything, get in the bed. My contractions are getting worse. And I told you the risk of a VBAC is a ruptured uterus. And that's what I was afraid of because it felt like the baby was ripping me apart from the inside. Like my incision hurt from when I had my son and it hurts really, really bad. So I had this lady doctor, I don't know her name, and she was rude. She wasn't rude, but she was being like really stern with me. She let me know either you're gonna push this baby out or we're gonna prep you for a C-section. But it's your choice and you need to make that decision now. And to me, it's like, I'm in labor. You're going to have to be patient with me. You're going to have to be nice to me because I'm in pain and I don't know what I want to do. I know that I wanted to push my baby out though. So I was like, I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to try. I'm going to try. You feel me? I'm going to always at least try. So the pain was so bad. I was like, I want my epidural now. And this had to be around maybe like 12 o'clock. My water broke around 10. This had to be around 12 o'clock. That I finally get to the hospital, finally get in the bed and all of that stuff. So the day goes on. That epidural worked magic. I'm telling you, like, I didn't feel anything. I low-key feel like it prolonged the labor. Maybe if I didn't have the epidural, I would have had her sooner. I was only in labor for like 12 hours. I had her at 11:06 p.m. Okay, so when I first got in the bed, I was only, prior to when I went to my doctor's appointment, I was a fingertip dilated, like a fingertip dilated. When I went to the hospital, I was like a centimeter dilated. That was around 12 o'clock. So they check you maybe like every 2-3 hours. So I think around 3 o'clock, maybe I was like 3 centimeters dilated. And then around 6 o'clock, I was 6 centimeters dilated. And then around, I think they checked me at 8 or 9. I was still 6 centimeters dilated. So that's what kind of like hindered me, I guess. Not hindered me, but I felt like maybe it would be a repeat C-section. But they was like, we're gonna, see how you progress. We're gonna give you another couple hours. We're gonna talk to the doctor, see if it's okay. Everything was okay. So they let me wait. Then 10 o'clock, I think I was 10 centimeters dilated at 10 o'clock. And I was happy. I was so happy because I was like, at least I get a chance to, push the baby out. Another doctor had came, so the whole time my OB um, didn't, I guess, give birth to my baby. He didn't deliver my baby for me. And that's what I was looking forward to because he was my doctor, my regular gynecologist. Like, he was my doctor before I got pregnant and everything. And I really liked him. He was always honest. And he answered all the questions that I ever had. So, okay. Another doctor came in. Okay, time to push. They prepped me to push. They waited a while just to make sure my body was ready, I guess. So, my daughter's father, he had turned to some station on a TV that played like really soft music. And that was like really calming to like give birth to. When it came time to push, I was so nervous. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't know what to expect. But when I tell you, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't even feel like I was pushing hard enough. My daughter's father was very encouraging at that time. Like, he was a lot of support. He was like, you got this, push, breathe, you doing good, da 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 da. Just like the nurses. Like, he was trained to go. And so I'm pushing and I don't feel nothing. I don't feel pressure. I don't feel the baby coming out. I don't feel nothing. But they're like, you're doing a great job. So I think I pushed for maybe 10 minutes. And I think I pushed 3 times. 10 minutes 3 times. Because I think I had to do it every time I had a contraction. I had to push. So there's like, you're doing such a great job. She has a lot of hair. Da 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 da. And I'm like, really? Because I don't feel like I'm pushing nothing. They like, push as hard as you can. I don't even think I was pushing as hard as I can, honestly. Like, that's how much I didn't feel anything. I didn't tear. I'm very grateful. My labor was amazing. When she came out, it was like the biggest relief I have ever experienced in my life. Like, it was just a blessing. It was a blessing to see her when they did skin to skin. When I had my son, I didn't have the chance to do skin to skin. They had taken him away. They cleaned him off. And they kept him for hours. I had him at after 12:45. They kept him till 6 in the morning. And I was mad because I'm like, all right, I want to breastfeed. My baby been in this world for 5 hours and he ain't eat nothing yet. You feel me? Y'all didn't have my baby the whole time. And I'm one of the moms where I don't take advantage of the nursery. I want my baby with me at all times. Like, I need to get used to being around my baby. I need to get used to their needs. I need to get used to hearing them cry, knowing what they're crying for. Stuff like that. Like, I like to be around my kids. So, yeah, after everything happened, they put her on my chest. We had skin to skin. I latched her on. She was good eating. She was great eating. She's a fat girl. She likes to eat. She like her mama because I like to eat too. But I just wanted to give some tips for if anyone was looking to have a VBAC. These are just some things that I tried. I tried the 3rd trimester T again. And then I tried the prenatal capsules. And I put them in when I was full term. 37 weeks is full term. So I started this when I was full term. And I started these when I was full term. And I had my daughter a week early. Do keep in mind that 1% though. So I waited 2.5 years before I had another child. Um, so if you are having your kids back to back, do take that into consideration because your body might not all it might not be all the way healed. So if it's not all the way healed correctly, that could increase your risk. But I did wait a few years, and I was really determined. It's a complete different experience having a C-section and then pushing a baby out. I would do it all over again if I had a chance. I would push her out again if I had a chance. I didn't tear, but I just wanted to help because I know I did a lot of research when I was trying to get my VBAC, and I feel like this really did it because it thins out your cervix, and I think that's what made my water break like that. But if you have any questions or if you want, like, I don't know, other information, just comment and I'll reply. Also, after delivery, I guess the recovery process was different than when I had a C-section as well. I think I take pain pretty well. So with my C-section, my recovery was easy. Maybe it was easy because I had my mom. My mom she helped me carry my son. She helped me carry the car seat, all of that stuff. So, but I didn't take like the perks that they give you after you give birth. I don't think I took more than 2 or 3 of them after I had my son. But after I had my daughter, that recovery was tough. I don't know if it's because it was my second child or if it's because I pushed her out, but my body was sore. Like, my body ached. I felt like I was always tired. I don't know. It did take a toll on my body pushing her out. I was still contracting, like my uterus getting smaller. You can still feel like some contraction, especially if you breastfeed. If you're nursing, your uterus gets smaller while you're nursing, so you feel contractions then as well, and that is no joke. Like, that was real painful. But I'm gonna end the video on that. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of y'all and your support, especially in my last video. Because again, my life is changing a total 180. This past year, my life has really changed a lot. So I really support y'all. I mean, I appreciate y'all support. I talk a lot. And you're gonna realize that I talk a lot and I ramble. So, but thank you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.